all, welcome back to another episode of Dutch Diecast Collector, or if you're new to the show, a also big, very big welcome. Today we got a Soviet Union MiG-17F and Fresco C. They started making a new one, so that's really cool. I'm a big fan of these Cold War jets, especially the 15 and 17, and of course the 21 and 19, but from Hobby Master, always a very good jet. I have to say the box is always very good, and this one is, by the way, a steal. If you ever find one, get one. I do have one. But let's have a look inside the box what we get. I also bought the East German one. We will also release that on a weekday. Will not keep the people waiting too long. The box for the rest is a very straightforward, simple box, as always. Packaging really good. I like that we added the press here's now, and the pitotes are more protected room, so that's really good. The tail details, nicely done, the black. Parts are stowed underneath, at least major parts. And the smaller parts like wheels and so on are in the front above the blister. Now, as I mentioned before, Tape and Hobby Master are big fans of each other. I think they have a subscription. The stand, as always, very nice and detailed, basic plastic, good stuff. Then fuel tanks and all the closed and open air vents and so on. I believe they're all in here, or at least not closed air vents. So we have a rocket pod, I think. Yeah, a rocket pod and a fuel tank. So we have a double option. Now Tape and me are not a big fan. Let's see if we can open her up quickly. I do like that everything is always well packaged in Hobby Master, and we were talking yesterday in the podcast about it, but I'm recording now, by the way, which we might do again soon. Let's see, what do we get? As I mentioned, it was well packaged. I never get the feeling that they are going to fall out, let's put it that way. So again, nice little foil over the cockpit, so that's really good. Now, of course, a very standard plane. For people like me, it's not so standard, but for the most, it's like, oh, it's another MiG in silver. I disagree on that one, because I really love the details of these jets. Weight, as always, is very good. The casting hasn't been disappointing lately. Now, we have some new additions to the mold, so we have drilled holes in the front. They are drilled quite straight. I think they made a jig mold to drill them in, but this one is a bit lowered. Now I'm a bit of an OCD guy when it comes to drilling and holes and fitment and all that stuff. Cockpit doesn't open very far, so you need to be very either patient. I'm not going to squeeze in the pilot in this thing because I think it's very, very tiny. Now the fin, nicely blue, dark blue. Yes, it's dark blue, it's not black. The two pitotes, of course, nicely done. Now I have to say, this looks like a clean little jet. The number decals, nicely done. The machine guns, nicely done. So yeah, that all looks okay. Let's put it down for now. Let's put those scissors out of the way. Let's see, the pilot figure. Now, a very generic figure. He's even a bit cross-legged. I don't know why. I'm not going to use it. I think it's way too hard to squeeze one in, so that's an improvement project from my end. I would like to see the canopy removable. I don't want to dare to remove this thing right now. By the way, I believe there should be some detail on there. Yeah, so usually it has a rear view mirror, I believe, on the top. But I'm not sure if this one also has it, but I think they did try to make that. Now, the landing gear usually fits quite okay. But be careful with it. They're not very strong, let's put it that way. So it's not like they have a limited lifespan. They're nicely marked right and left, but they only fit one way. Now this is what I mean with they're very weak. I accidentally pushed my nail in the wrong spot and I shoot off a part. Now, it's not the end of the world, but I have no clue where the part went. So that gives you a bit of an insight why I hate landing gears like this one. I have no clue where it went. Okay, so for purpose of video, that's a nice example of be very careful. Now, putting it on its wheels, it's a nice model. I have to be honest, I'm just a bit disappointed that the part shot off on me. Let me quickly have a look if I can find it, guys. So I did manage to find the part, luckily. Let me show you. So it is glued only in on one piece, and it's actually the stabilizer or the arm that retracts. So you can re-glue that. I'm going to keep that apart for now, so I can later on stage I can glue that back in there. But not bad, but it's just something that it's older and it's weaker, the design at least of it. And I'm not a big fan of the MiG-17's landing gear. It's just one of my less favorites. I think all the older MiGs are not my big fan ones, let's say. Let's see what parts we got with it. So that's a bit of a downer again, that the landing gear is as weak as always, but if you're used to it, it's not so bad. Now fuel tanks, you also need to be very careful with. This one from the 17 is not super bad, but the one from the 15 is have a little pack like the Sabres. I already had the glue standing by, I don't need it. Now closed landing gear, sometimes the same story. You might need some Elmer's or some white glue. This one actually fits quite okay. The 15 even has little flaps. They are even more hard sometimes. Let me put the camera a little bit higher for you guys. Sorry if I sometimes defocus a little bit. But yeah, I have to say these ones fit okay. Nice smooth lining, not bad. This one is actually really good. But I have had examples where it was a bit harder. With older releases, I have to be honest. So yeah. I have to say the color goes in nicely on front, so that's really well done. I'm curious about these little pots, how easily they fit. They're square packs in a round hole. The fitment is really good, thanks to that I think. So these are square packs from the mold, and you just gently push them in. Now this one is way too loose. I was a bit too early enthusiastic, let's put it that way. Let's see if the other one fits a bit better. Maybe one hole is a bit bigger. Yeah, these holes are bigger, that's the problem. The fitment is just good enough to hold them. So the placement of these ones are a bit different. So you get the same problem again. You get these poorly lined out. Let me put something a little bit straight next to it. So you have this one, which is quite okay. And then this one, it is almost going off like if 1 degree. So that's a bit of a shame. Now you could correct that yourself by gently pushing it. I am not going to do that, but it's possible. But a review should be honest, in my opinion. Share as much as possible for somebody to make a judgment if they want to spend money on this. Because I would love to have that. So yeah, but the finish looks good. You do have another part. By the way, let me put this down. There is a closed part, let's say. I think I have it somewhere. It's a bit messy this morning. Maybe it's in here. No, it's not. Where did I leave it? Okay. This is going well today. No, yeah, guys, sorry for that. Here it is. I had it almost in the junk bag. Always watch out before throwing out your bags. So you can blind plug if you would be on landing gear. And again, you have the removal tool to extract the pin or the landing gear. So this is how it would look cleaned completely. And if you want to remove that part, now this tool is a bit too big for that job, but it just does the trick. Now the stand from the F17 is fully plastic, which is not a bad thing. I do like them. They don't have to be super heavy to do their job. Now fitment is really good. And I pushed them in on the plane before. Don't put the plane on the stand, let's say. So yeah, that's it. No, I have to say it looks really good. Basic, good, not too over-engineered. The parts can go in here. Don't need it for a Ziploc bag with that amount. The open canopy I'm not a big fan of, mainly because I think it's way too restricted to put a pilot in. Now I know you can squeeze them off by gently. You can actually remove them. So correction on my end, guys, you can remove the canopy. I was just a scaredy cat to remove it. So sorry for that, Hobby Master, for saying that was not possible. But yeah, that's the only weak thing that I found so far was the landing gear. Now the cross-legged pilot that needs to pee looks funny. And the fitment with the pilot is really good, so that's good. And you can actually stick its head under the seat, so that's nice. Now, be careful when putting that thing back in there, it's just plastic. But I have to say, yeah, beautiful little fighter. Yeah, let me prep her up. I'll make a rotary and rotisserie table. Guys, and there you have it, the finished Fresco C. Yeah, I have to say the dark blue, it looks quite like a fun little detail, the same as the black on the wings. And the little rocket pods, nice. Only thing, a little bit angle there, and the wheel that the piston, let's say, came out. But yeah, I have to say, not disappointed at all. It's a really nice model. I think the price went down a little bit in the Netherlands, at least. They're now, if I'm not mistaken, 70 euros. If I'm not mistaken, guys, sorry if I am. But they dropped a little bit, so that's good. But I have to say, really clean looking little model. I haven't found any imperfections on the body itself, and the paint looks really stunning. I want to thank you guys again for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. It's always very welcome, and hope to see you guys next time on the next episode. Bye bye.